Hi, I am going to walk you through class from Wednesday, September 23rd. I'm posting this a day late, so apologies for that. Today in class, we read a Joy Harjo poem, a quick excerpt of Jenny Tonpa Haute, and then we workshopped our paragraphs, so this will be a really short video. How to Write a Poem in a Time of War is yet another Harjo poem. I love Joy Harjo. Again, she's a Creek Indian writing about her experience as an Indian, and this poem is very much about that. And it's foreshadowing the conflict that we're going to be reading about a little bit more next week when we start talking about colonists. How to Write a Poem in a Time of War. You can't begin just anywhere. It's a wreck. Shrapnel in the eye of a row of houses. There's a rat scrambling from light with fleshy trash in its mouth. A baby strapped to its mother's back, cut loose. Soldiers crawl the city, the river, the town, the village, the bedroom, our kitchen. They eat everything, or burn it. They kill what they cannot take. They rape. What they cannot kill, they take. Rumors fall like rain. Like bombs, like mother and father, tears swallowed for restless peace. Like sunset slanting toward a moonless midnight. Like a train blown free of its destination. Like a seed fallen where there is no chance of trees or any place for birds to live. No, start here. Deer peer from the edge of the woods. We used to see woodpeckers the size of the sun, red birds, and were greeted by chickadees with their good morning songs. We'd start to cook outside, slippery with dew and laughter. Ah, those smoky sweet sunrises. We tried to pretend war wasn't going to happen, though they began building their houses all around us and demanding more. They started teaching our children their God's story, a story in which we'd always be slaves. No, not here. You can't begin here. This is memory shredded because it is impossible to hold by words, even poetry. These memories were left here with the trees, the torn pocket of your daughter's hand-sewn dress, the sash, the lace, the baby's delicately beaded moccasin still connected to the foot, a young man's note of promise to his beloved. No, this is not the best place to begin. Everyone was asleep, despite the distant bombs. Terror had become the familiar stranger. Our beloved twin girls curled up in their nightgowns next to their father and me. If we begin here, none of us will make it to the end of the poem. Someone has to make it out alive, sang a grandfather to his grandson, his granddaughter, as he blew his most powerful song into the hearts of the children. There it would be hidden from the soldiers, who would take them miles, rivers, mountains from the naval cord place of the origin story. He knew one day, far day, the grandchildren would return generations later, over slick highways, constructed over old trails, through walls of laws meant to hamper or destroy, over the libraries of the ancestors in the winds, born in stones. His song brings us to his home place in these smoky hills. Begin here. I like that poem. Love that poem a lot. I think that it really illustrates concept number 3, that we are not beholden to those with power over us. And I'm going to go to the assignment now because we'll move into that in a moment here. We are not defined by those who have power over us. In that poem, I hear Joy Harjo, her speaker, trying to assert her territory in the world where there is a power coming to take over. She's trying to stand firm and say, this is our voice and this is my voice and you cannot take it away from us. So if you're doing understand number 3 or concept number 3 for your writing, you might find some inspiration in those thoughts to apply it to your own art that you've chosen. So I also pulled Jenny Tonpa Haute for understand number 3 as an illustration. And I'll just focus on the picture for now. I encourage you to read pieces of this if you're already moving on to part 2 of your assignment, of your project. So Jenny Tonpa Haute writes about the Kiowa Indian peoples and how important it was for them to dance, to have their powwows, and that the regalia and the dress that you would wear to these was critical. So I here an image are 2 Kiowa Indians wearing those headdresses and the buttresses of feathers down their backs. You can see the weapons that they carry that are meant for the dance, and the bells on their legs that are all part of the dance. So dance here is a kind of art form, and she's trying to write about how dance became a way of resisting the federal government, who said that they weren't allowed to dance, resisting the ways that their cultural identity was being dispersed across the land as they were pushed from their homes. So when you're getting to part 2, you could even choose something like dance or fashion or song as the art that you're going to study. So back to our assignment. We went through one single paragraph outline where I kind of practiced what you could use for your single paragraph, and I'll show that to you in a second. And then we spent the rest of the time working on your paragraph. When you're working on your paragraph, I'd like you to do it inside of your big Google Doc. So that's where your assignment will live. You don't need to submit anything to me separately. Instead, you'll just go down to Wednesday and Thursday, and you'll type your paragraph into this space. So this is going to be Wednesday and Thursday, September 23rd and 24th, and you'll write your paragraph right here for me. No need to go anywhere else. Show you our single paragraph outline in case it helps you, and then wish you luck. As you write your paragraph, down here is this single paragraph outline to help you. I encourage you to click on that and download a copy and to type out what you have in mind for your paragraph, how you could find details to write about. So here's one that I've done as a model. I have my topic sentence, then Navajo origin stories reveal that art reflects our spirit because the historian captures his tribe's belief system in those videos. And then I went through the videos and I found what are some details that I want to include when it comes to this idea about beliefs. And I centered on the spirals, the idea of nonviolence, and then the 4 selves. So I'm going to build a sentence for each of those things. And then my last sentence, my concluding sentence, in conclusion, the Navajo origin stories reflect the spirit of the people who tell them, showing the readers that the tribe values life and growth. So all of this would be really good as a starter for me to get my paragraph done. And all I have to do now is make sentences out of those middle details. So if you're finding that you're stuck, come to this document outline and go back over your art source, whatever it is, whether it's the short story by Alexi, the short story by Silko, the poem by Baca, or the Navajo origin stories, and try to collect details that you think are important from that thing to write your paragraph. No STEM today, just work on your paragraphs and draft them. Tomorrow, Thursday, we'll do that same thing. And then you'll turn it in on Thursday or at some point before Monday at 9 when it's due. All right, thank you.